What is up, everybody? It's Craig here from Cynics of the Galaxy, and not too long ago I got the new album from Lamb of God. It is Sturm und Drang. Put your eyes on that. It's probably the wrong way around, and you can see everything in reflection. I'm recording from my phone, so recording quality isn't of the utmost quality. So I apologise for that. Okay, so today what we're going to look at with this review is my two favourite songs from the album, my least favourite song from the album, which song I can't wait to see live. I'm going to see them live in November, and also where this album, should I say, fits within the world of metal. I think every album that's released should be sort of evaluated in that way. Where does it fit in? How does it measure up against its the last album from Lamb of God? Is it better or worse? So let's get into this. Okay, so my two favourite songs from this album, I would say they are 512. So this song, really for me, is the best song on the album. It really it's a really powerful message behind it. Randy Blythe, the lead singer, in case you don't know, he was recently in prison for an incident that took place in the Czech Republic, I think it was. Don't quote me on that. But I know he went through a hell of a patch, a bit of a personal journey from while he was inside behind bars. And you can tell through the lyrics, really, what this song means to him. And I think that's what you look for in a song. Really, is real personal meaning, something you can relate to in a way that you can understand where he's coming from, what he might have gone through, and how you can sort of appreciate what he's saying through his song, and of course of the band entirely as they're performing the song. So my second favourite song on the album is Overlord. Now, this is actually a really cool direction for the band to take, I think. Really brave move in my eyes. Doing for the most part, a slower song. It really shows off the whole band's talent, that they don't have to be pigeonholed into one particular type of performance, or genre, should I say. It really shows the diversity and talent behind every one of them. I think Overlord is a great song. Even though it starts, for the majority, as I say, it is pretty a slow song. But the chorus is hard-hitting. The lyrics are great, really sort of hit home. And make you feel empowered, actually. That's one thing I love about metal. It makes you feel better about yourself in a way that you can think, there's no such thing as being perfect, but you can be proud of who you are, and I think there's a lot of pride in the metal community, just to know that it's good to be alive, it's good to be human. It's just one of those songs I can listen to and think, it's good to be alive today. There's a lot to learn still though, and that's what I thrive for. And towards the end of the song, of course, Lamb of God go right back to the heavy stuff, and again, just impressed the hell out of me with how great the sound is. So let's talk about my least favourite song on this album, which is, let's remind myself of the title. It is "Engage the Fear Machine." Now, I'm not a particular fan of politically driven music. I appreciate what they're saying in the song, and I do understand that Lamb of God have done a few different political songs, in some of their albums. I don't have a problem with it. In fact, I would say that on Ashes of the Wake, they have a few more politically sort of based songs, and I do love them a lot. So I wouldn't say it's the actual songs I have a problem with, just sometimes with politically driven music. The lyrics can sometimes be a little cliche, and even the title, "Engage the Fear Machine," to me, the word machine is sort of overused in the world of political activism, if you will. And again, I don't disagree with the messages. Just sometimes when I'm having a good time with an album, sometimes I grind to a halt with my enjoyment if I feel that he's been a bit too preachy with the lyrics. I mean, there's no problem with being preachy, but do it in a way that's actually quite clever. The more generic you start getting with the words you use, the more disengaged I become. You know, I think the song, the faded line in Ashes of the Wake, I think that's one of those politically driven songs that I actually quite enjoy. Again, I might have to listen to that again if I'm thinking of the right song. But I'm sure all you Lamb of God fans out there know what I'm talking about, or I hope you do. And feel free to comment on this if I'm sort of mistaken there, or you have your own opinion on it, which I'm sure you all do. So, where does this album fit in with the world of metal? I think it's not to be ignored. Now, it's not a perfect album. I would say it's probably Lamb of God's, I'm tempted to say second best album underneath Ashes of the Wake. You may disagree with that. I will just say that Ashes of the Wake has a few more songs on there that are more enjoyable for me. What I feel this album kind of makes up for where the last couple of albums they released lacked is style rather than substance. I feel that in the last album, especially before this one, that there was more just substance to it. It was just heavy after heavy track with kind of noise, I would say. There's too much noise within the album. I like each part of the band to be distinguishable, so you can hear the bass clearly, you can hear the rhythm guitar clearly. So it gives you more of a chance to appreciate each part of that band rather than just being an onslaught of noise. So that's where I feel we are with this album, because I feel that they actually tone it, they kind of level it out a bit in the sense that it's not too much all at the same time. You know, they pace it nicely. I think I'm not an expert guitarist, but I think they've turned down the gain slightly on the mixing there for guitars. So it gives you a bit more of a crisp sound to each note. And that's what I enjoy hearing. And I think this album would be one I would recommend to a new person to the world of metal, especially if you've not heard of Lamb of God before. I would say check this one out, along with Ashes of the Wake, so you get a bit of the flavour for the old and the new, being two great albums. It's not a landmark in the world of metal, I wouldn't say. But I'm definitely going to keep listening to this album. It's going to be in my car a hell of a lot of time. I'm going to have a great time listening to this on the way to work. Get me pumped up for the day. So, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be buying quite a lot of metal albums as they come out, and I'm going to review them for everyone who's watching. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give them a 5-star rating system. So for this album, what should we give this, everyone? I think this is going to get a 4 out of 5. It could be better. Got some real solid tracks on here. There's just not enough of them for me to give it that 4.5 or 5. So it's not going to be like an album I can listen start to finish and not want to skip any track. For me, a 5 means you have to enjoy every single track and want to listen to it start to finish. An example album for you would be The Wall by Pink Floyd. That's an album that I can listen to first second to very last second of the whole thing, not get bored and not want to skip. So that gives you an idea of how I rate my albums. So everyone, What's your thoughts on this on the new album, Sturm und Drang? Oh my god! Let me know on the comments, and of course subscribe if you've enjoyed this review. Feel free to give me any comments on how we can improve or how I can improve my reviews, perhaps. I appreciate the lighting's not great, the recording's not great. But yeah, we like to do little side recordings away from the studio, if you want to call it that. And yeah, you'll be seeing more reviews from me soon. So stick around, and I'll see you real soon. Bye bye. I forgot the song that I want to see live. I'm going to be seeing Lamb of God live in London, Wembley Arena, I think it is, in November. So anyone who's going to be at that gig, can't remember what date it is. I think it's like the 14th of November. Supporting Megadeth as the main act, and they're going to be with Cynics, I think they're called, and Children of Bodom. It's going to be an amazing gig. I can't wait. I like all those bands. I'm very excited about it. The song I really am looking forward to seeing live, I hope they play it, is Overlord. Because I'm so used to Lamb of God having quite just a pure set of heavy. It would be really cool and interesting to see how they mix in the kind of softer song in with that. So if you're going to be at that gig, hit me up. Let's hang out. I always like to meet new people who are interested in metal and who are fans of Lamb of God. One of my favourite metal bands ever. So, see you later. This time for good. Bye bye. Craig out. Yourself into your